Welcome back, y'all, to Whiplash TV. Thanks for coming back to check out another video here on the channel. Today I'm going to do a little bit of some maintenance and also kind of an upgrade on my 2009 Pontiac G8 GT. I'm going to do a four-wheel disc brake job. Shout out to Velati at streetdrivenperformance.net, where he got me the hookup for this full setup of brakes and pads for my Pontiac G8 GT. Also, y'all can go on to streetdrivenperformance.net and you can use code Whiplash and it will give you a discount on every single product on that website. So be sure to go check out streetdrivenperformance.net today. Just a little reminder, at streetdrivenperformance.net is where we got all of our carbon fiber stuff for the G8 from that website. We got the hood vents, we got the front splitter, and we got the back spoiler, all from streetdrivenperformance.net. So I did the brakes on this car a long time ago, probably about 9 years or so, and they are just not stopping as good as they used to. I believe I still have plenty of brake pad left. I'm not one that's very hard on the brakes, but it's definitely time to go ahead and upgrade. This set right here came from Detroit Axle, and I really have no complaints. The kit that I'm going with is the Z26 carbon fiber ceramic kit. You can get different kits, and they usually have that Z and then a number after it. So this is not their bottom of the line kit. This is kind of a upper tier kit that Powerstop sells. So I'm looking forward to see how good these perform. The rotors are drilled and slotted and are very good looking and easily labeled with what spot on the car they go. So here's the front passenger side. So I'm going to take y'all step by step through the process, and the very first thing that we're going to do is get the car jacked up and on jack stands. So now the car is up on jack stands and all the wheels are off. So the next thing that we have to do is we've got to take out the two 12mm bolts here. That will release the caliper. And once the brake caliper is released, then we can pull it off with the pads. Then, since we're changing the rotors out, we've got to pull the caliper bracket off, which is two 18mm right down here. Once those two come off, then the bracket will come off and then the rotor can come right off towards us. While we're at this point, it is a good idea to take and move this caliper. Make sure your pins are not seized up top and bottom and that they're moving like they should. Then we can pull out our pads. Then the two 18mm. Now some of these bolts, when you go take them out for the caliper, this piece here that has the pin in it will start spinning. So if that's the case, you'll need an 18mm on this part as a backup. Other than that, front and back are the same 12mm and 18mm bolts. And they're the same process as the front. So the next step to get this brake job done is going to be to loosen up this zert so that the brake fluid will come out, and then we're going to press down on both of these two pistons. Catch this fluid and dispose of it. The easiest way that I've found to do it is to use a big C-clamp and use one of the old brake pads. Slip it right in there. And then start tightening down. Once you have the pistons pressed in, then we're ready for new brake pads and rotors. Here's a look at the difference from the new Powerstop rotor to the Detroit axle rotor. So with the way these are made, we're still going to get rid of some of the gases with the cross drilled and the slots, but this has a lot more surface area that's flat and not all drilled and slotted, so it should be the best of both worlds, getting a good contact patch and dissipating heat. So I kind of prefer this design. Don't forget on the new brake rotors to always use some brake cleaner so that you can clean off the surface and make sure you have no grease on there at all. Here's a quick comparison of the new rotor and the old rotor for the rear end. Again, it's kind of the same story. The old back rotor has tons of holes and larger cross-drilled holes and bigger slots. So next we'll want to pull these metal pieces out of the brake caliper bracket, and then we'll install our new ones just like that. Powerstop supplies us with this ceramic silicone brake component lubricant that it wants us to put on all of these surfaces. Your pins in the caliper itself right here, this just goes in and out of here, and that little dust boot just pops off and pops on. They also give you new ones if you want to change them out, or if yours are in bad shape, you can put on new ones. So make sure your pins are lubricated, and make sure that these are lubricated where your pad tabs are going to sit in these new holders. Here's the new rubber pieces for the front pins. The interior of it has to lip like that over this notch on the pin, and then this just folds on back like that. Then we can just apply a little bit of this grease. They do not give you much, so it's not going to take much of this. Just going to give it a little spin as we install it, and then again there's this lip that this has to fit over. And that rubber is fully installed when it's over that lip and the lip of this pin right here by the nut. Now it's time to reinstall our brake caliper bracket. We'll put back in our 18mm bolts. Next up, we're going to install our brake pads. Now that our pads are in, we can slide our brake caliper over. And then we can start our 12mm nuts. Now I am going to fix the paint job on this brake caliper and caliper bracket, which I did a long time ago when I was kind of in a hurry. But the next thing we'll have to do is we're going to have to bleed our brakes. You're going to have somebody put pressure on the brake pedal and hold it down when you open the bleeder screw, and then get out all the air. Alright, so I've got everything torqued down, got some fresh paint on the brake caliper and the caliper bracket. Now it's time to put our wheel and tire back on. All right, y'all, we got the wheels and tires on. We got everything back on the ground. Look how good these brakes look. Added paint to the brake caliper brackets and some fresh paint to the brake calipers. And those drilled and slotted rotors just look real good in there. I'm going to show y'all how I bed in the brakes. But first, I want to get a look at them with you and just show you how they turned out. They look really, really good. I think they turned out great. They look good behind those wheels. I'm excited to see how they do under braking and how they perform. So let's crank this thing up and let's go for a test drive. So in order to go ahead and get these brakes bedded in, we want to get up to about 45 to 50 mile per hour. Then we're going to hit the brakes nice and firm. Not everything that it's got, but definitely over 50% of what it's got, and go down to about 5 mile per hour. Then let off the brakes. You're not looking to come to a full stop. On a drive of maybe about, 2 to 3 miles or so, it doesn't have to be very far. You're going to want to do this about 5 times or so. And on about the 3rd to 4th and 5th time, I get more aggressive with it. So that wasn't all of it, but that was probably closer to 70% of it. Before y'all get on out of here, please drop a like on the video. Also, leave me a comment of what you think about today's content. And also, let me know what else you'd like to see me do to this Pontiac G8. In the video description, I'll leave a link to streetdrivenperformance.net. Don't forget to use code WHIPLASH at checkout for a discount off everything on the site. Y'all don't forget to subscribe. That way you get notified every time that I post a new video. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.